Hey there everyone, Benji here. In this video, we're going to explore how a focus on healing place holds within it the transformative opportunity to heal ourselves. We're going to start with just a moment to get our hearts and our nervous systems a bit more prepared, because this will involve taking an honest look at our pain. So you may want to take a courageous breath, and let's also remind ourselves of the transformative power in sitting with our suffering with full presence, compassion, patience, and seeing it with eyes wide open. This is always something worth doing. Please know that we are in this together. In order to explore this underexplored and powerful approach to healing through place, we need to open ourselves to seeing the root of a shared disease more clearly. So let's gently squint our eyes, warm up our feelers, and inspect our pain. Most of it is likely masked by coping mechanisms. It's what we do. It's how we survive. Uncover what you can, what you feel ready for. What pain that you are carrying can you feel right now? How is it lodged in the body? Through tension, numbness, illness? How does it appear in the psyche? Through anxiety, loneliness, fragmentation? How about how it shows up in your soul? Maybe lack of meaning or purpose, or disconnection from something greater. Now try to detach your awareness enough from your pain to be an observer, to get to a perspective that's not personally entangled, not to numb, but to see it as a messenger and the teacher that it is, that it can be. And it's easy to feel like our pain is personal, but what if much of it is more like symptoms of something we all are experiencing? A disease of our dominant cultural worldview, one that doesn't center the well-being of life. This idea that we humans are separate from nature has been with us for a very long time. Many call this the story of separation. It's the story that enables us to see nature as a resource, to treat our bodies like machines, to reduce our communities to markets. The story of separation sees aliveness and soul purpose as inconveniences. So let's look again at our pain. What if your anxiety isn't just yours? What if your fatigue, your gut imbalance, your loneliness, your purposelessness aren't results of some personal flaw, but symptoms of a system-wide disease of our collective worldview? One that simply doesn't know how to see and honor life. We are not just individuals in isolation. We are parts of many ecosystems, not just biological ecosystems like forests and wetlands, but social ecosystems of mutual care and belonging, narrative ecosystems of meaning and myth, cultural ecosystems of ritual and shared identity. We are our shared soil. We are our shared story. We are our shared gut flora, individually and collectively. It may sound weird, but the health of any one part depends on the health of the whole. Dr. Zach Bush reminds us, when we devastate the life in our soil with chemicals, we collapse its biodiversity and our immunity. Spraying glyphosate on our food disrupts our guts. Our bodies are inflamed because our world is inflamed. Our nervous systems are dysregulated because our forest ecologies are. This is not exclusively metaphor, this is mirroring. And the dominant worldview, the story of separation, or the perceived separation between humans and life, causes this and is blind to it. And now, chronic illness is becoming normal. Anxiety is baseline. Our souls are starved for meaning. One way the story of separation shows up in everyday life is how separated we are from our own bodies. We often feel trapped indoors, in our heads, on our screens. Or maybe we work a physically demanding job and we work ourselves to the bone. Cultural expectations train us to value productivity over presence, intuition, listening to the nature and needs of our very own bodies. And the results are chronic stress, jaw tension, chest tightness, back pain. These aren't just medical problems. These are our bodies protesting. And too often our conditions have to become extreme for us to listen. I know that was the case for me. A body is not a machine. So how do we heal from this story of separation, this myth that makes us blind to the needs of life and the opportunities in living in harmony with it? As we recognize our pain is not isolated in us, but symptoms of a shared disease, we can see a door open. Pain is a natural part of life, but not like this. When we see together how it is rising everywhere, we grow in our ability to do something about it. If the pain is communal, the healing can be too. And here's the really exciting opportunity and great challenge. Earnest and genuine communal healing is systemic, multiplying, and transcendent. And the truth is, there are connections that want to be made, connections that have been waiting. If this is the case, then why don't they connect? Well, simply put, the modern world doesn't focus at the scale that would enable these healing reconnections. Place is the scale. Our communities, our watersheds. Place offers healing at the scale where body, society, and surrounding ecology meet. Here, we can feel the reconnection as it happens. Here, it's so accessible. Here, healing ripples outward, multiplying, going systemic. Let's make this happen. Let's choose to participate in the radical healing of something larger than ourselves. To heal while helping to heal. To be a healing part in a whole system as it heals. And place gives us that chance. What might this look like as a person experiences this? Let's explore this in a little fictional storytelling with you as the main character. Imagine a quiet afternoon. You join a small gathering by your local river. You sit in the sand in front of a small waterfall just above where the road into town bridges over the river. There are colorful murals painted on the concrete embankment under the bridge. The group is simply there to talk about place and for each to share their hopes for healing and greater local flourishing. Someone says, I thought it'd be cold out, so I brought this warm tea. Now the sun's out and it's beautiful. You want a cup anyways? You graciously accept a cup and think about how hospitable and kind that act was. You feel deep authenticity, earnestness, and acceptance in the group. No one needs you to be anything but just there. You feel yourself loosen and relax. Then stories begin to be shared, and through them you sense for the first time that something transformative is happening locally. Some kind of collective shift may be taking place. No pun intended. Someone shares how they, along with some of their neighbors, have been planting native wildflowers on their block for a few years, and there are noticeably more bees and other pollinators. You discover that one of the murals under the bridge was recently painted by a teen who was inspired by a story they heard from a local elder. You hear that a modest local regenerative farm is hosting a composting class the very next morning, and you think you'll attend. And when you speak, you feel your voice welcomed into these stories. You share some of your pains, and they feel witnessed and processed. You share some of your aspirations, and they feel encouraged and supported. Then weeks pass. You find yourself inspired more and more. Walking slowly down Main Street, noticing so many good things happening, soaking it all in. You started composting, and it feels like a life-enriching ritual. You're attending that weekly potluck that's been going on for years that you've managed to skip so many times, and you're feeling the growing connections. You're volunteering at that farm with a growing group, learning names of people and of plants. Then one day, you hear that a developer is proposing a new building on Main Street, something profitable and disconnected from the community. A few neighbors reach out, a meeting is called, stories are shared. The message is clear: local dreams and needs first. The proposal shifts, and more devoted locals are now involved. You feel it in your chest. Something powerful is taking root. You even notice your sleep is coming just a little easier. It feels so right that you are no longer striving to heal alone. You feel how much more challenging it was when you were trying to do so. You feel the power of the growing awareness and intention around shared healing and local flourishing. You see how the land is healing, and you sense somehow that the land and the whole context is encouraging your healing. You begin to sense your story becoming healthfully entangled in others. You begin to understand how your wholeness is not yours alone, it belongs to all. This is systemic healing. This is what focusing at the scale of place makes possible. This is not just a nice story and idea. With shared awareness and purpose, this can happen anywhere. In many ways and in many places, it's already happening. It's an immune response. The story of separation and disease in living systems it causes is real. It's a wound we carry in our cells, our streets, our local stories, our soils. When we see our pain is not just personal, but patterned and mirrored across ecosystems, we awaken something powerful, a collective awareness, a collective direction, a shared consciousness capable of great healing. And when we take courageous responsibility for all of our pain, our shared pain and individual pain, not to carry the world on our backs, but to step into our power, we become the very act of healing. So let's see it. Let's be it. Let's learn to face our pain together and discover how strong we really are. So for today's participatory prompt, please share a story of when a higher order possibility for your healing became possible when the process was shared with others. Please share in the comments below or on your Facebook or Instagram profile. And if you do so there, don't forget to mention Awakening Lands.